Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where the plot thickens, or more should I say, the plot is really just getting started, as now we've moved on to another witness, giving us a testimony kind of about something else, unrelated to the case, and we've been asked to cross-examine him on things relating to the case, which is a bit of a leap, but it's the Chief of the Police, Mr. Gant here, is just waiting for us to, well, pick apart his statements, or more to the point, he seems to be wanting to give us information and items, so let's talk. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me? Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? Ooh, so wait a second, that knife then, by the sound of it, seems to be for a separate incident and isn't labelled with whatever's on it, the SL thing. Was it SL-9? DL6, SL-9, whatever it was. Whatever it was. Let's actually just examine and find out again. But it's put that on it because it's part of evidence from a previous case, not necessarily this one. So that's interesting. That definitely sounds like it to me. But while we're here, and why I've come more or less here, is to check out... Oh, we didn't actually get the muffler in evidence. You just brought the muffler and didn't actually submit it to evidence. Okay, that's interesting. But there, now why was there another knife at the scene of the crime, that's for sure. That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler! Which we get now? Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. Hold it! What? This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? There's an evidence that's had me stumped all this time? Well, let's continue pressing for now before we get to this. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. Hold it. On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto. I suppose I could help, if you could help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. When the victim was found, where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. I'd imagine he might have been stabbed by the sound of way things are going, to be honest. Because my earlier theory of people got to how, well, things are there, scene of crimes. Okay, we know when the victim died because he'll tell us next. So where the victim was found is the police department. So I guess it is how the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, well, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. Car park? What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? I guess I can keep going back and then press some more there. But let's go with this one. 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? We know that. Funny, isn't it? Actually, no, wait a second. Actually, no, we don't know that. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That gives a lot of wiggle room. That could be 2:30. Funny, isn't it? Indeed it is. Indeed it is. A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Alright, Fee. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Well, let's press for now and then start again and find out more information. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One in the prosecutor's office and one in the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife! What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Right, so the knife has more important information on it. We've got like the SL-9 kind of thing going on. But let's check. Well, the tip seems interesting, I guess. But isn't much of a thing there. Can't see anything on the butt. It's just the SL-9 thing. And then this weird splooge here. That I'd say is interesting. But it doesn't let me treat it as such. I mean, I can enlarge it some more. It's these wet marks or something like that on me. Wet marks are interesting. We've already opened it. So it's just the SL-9 tag, really. The back of the tag reveals nothing. So you said, bring the evidence that you hadn't found a use for yet. That's good and all, but still. A broken knife to go with a broken shield? I don't know. No prints, the parking stub? That's probably not it. Oh, it is it! Turn it upside down! We've got 221 SL-9. Okay. We have something, I think. Right, so a little bit of humming, ahhing, and looking has got me something. Right. I have that evidence right here, right now. We've got this, I think. We'll prepare for another strike. Objection!
Objection!
Wait a second! Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Maggie? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL-9 too. And this is important, why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12-2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside! The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what you get? Ah! Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL-9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto! I win? Ah, what game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Okay. So, this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Well, yeah, okay, wait a second. How could things both happen then at 5:15? If the knife is present in the car, but the murder, our murder happened at 5:15 in the car park. Okay. I feel like that's my point here, but it's not officially this case, so I can't talk much about it. At the moment, haven't we kind of given some kind of link here? I don't know if I should or not, but this parking stub, we show that... Oh, I'm so barking at the wrong tree. Indeed I am. Well, I've got myself my strike back, but that statement contradicts this evidence. It does. I don't see anything. Oh, really? Yeah, okay, give me a strike. This just is... No, it's not a coincidence, because it's like, it can't... The knife couldn't have got there. How could the knife get there? But now that we've done to that, how can we move forward from here? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Okay, that's cool and all. But it was found at the crime scene. So that in itself is the weird thing. It couldn't have stabbed someone at 5:15 if you know. Hold it. Talk some more. Oh yes, so this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder, we know that. It was evidence, yes. But how could it have made it to the thingy? It is hard to think there isn't a connection. So do I present the knife Objection! To the statement? No, that doesn't work either. What am I doing? I don't know. I mean, to me, there's a load of contradictory stuff. It's just getting the right thing that it wants me to get right now. There was a murder. So can I press more now and get more information, considering we've done a link? Yes, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact, surprising in energy. Yes, it is. He's at a loss for word. And the perpetrator, we do have a suspect? No. Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him. They arrested the suspect. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right? I suppose I could help if you give me a bit of data. But I can't give you any data. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. So, basically, we need to find out more here. We need to find out when the victim died. So when did the murder at the police department occur? Now that's a sharp question, righto. Very sharp. Well, my boy, you're going to love this. But it's the next part of the statement, isn't it? It's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence in any way. So if we skip forward and take the other bit again. It's not a coincidence. It's just weird. But yes, I don't think it took place at 5:15, and I can really kind of go to the, you know, evidence, yada yada. We know he's killed by stabbing, so tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found. But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't you mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Well, I got 2 strikes there, but I think I'm okay. There's the connection between the 2 cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. More to the point there, it was just like, to be honest, I thought loads of those statements are bogus, phony, rubbish. And I got 2 strikes as well I don't feel I really deserve for not being in the right place at the exact right point. But still, that's a bit weird. Tell me how you feel about that in the comments, that's for sure. We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With a link between the 2 cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Right, now we can press that one maybe. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these 2 cases has already been proven. You don't say! Well, out with it, Wrighto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I requested you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim in the department, okay? Why? Hold it! If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. So what, the victim's division, the victim's ID number, or the victim's gender? One of them stands out as something extremely precise. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. It's 584. Something. 2189? Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim in the police department. 584-218. Oh, I got it right. 218. I did get it right, didn't I? Yes, yeah, I did. It tells me something. Does it tell me anything? Well, let's have a look. Because something we haven't used. 584-2189. It tells me everything. It really does. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning. It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? Well, it tells me, Oh, okay, now I can get to present that finally. Cool, okay, good. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho! Is it yours? How would I have one? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Wright-o! Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Well, what do you guys think it means? We'll find out on the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and wow, in the judge's voice I'll say order and bye-bye.